Hey there, it's Dr. Brandon Drabek, Naturopathic doctor. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to my office. I hope everybody's having a great day. I want to have a different kind of conversation, not one about the latest supplement or diet trend, but about something deeper, something that affects how we think, what we believe, and ultimately who we trust when it comes to our health. Today we're talking about facts. Now let's get something straight, right off the bat. Everyone has personal experiences, personal truths, biases. I have them, you have them, we all do. It's a part of being human. But here's the thing, facts are not personal. They're objective, they're evidence-based, they're testable, and they're reproducible. And in this era of social media where personal opinions get much more reach than peer-reviewed research, I think it's time that we draw a line in the sand, especially in naturopathic medicine. Let me tell you what sparked this. Recently, I came across a Facebook post from a colleague who had reshared a viral claim from an internet influencer, someone who had tattoos and had unfortunately been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. This post essentially claimed that tattooing contains heavy metals. Heavy metals cause cancer. I have tattoos. I got cancer. Therefore, tattoos cause cancer. Now, I want to pause for a second and say my heart goes out to anybody who's battling cancer. It's an overwhelming experience, and it's only human to look for answers. But we have to be careful not to confuse personal correlation with scientific causation. So I did some digging. It turns out there is a European study that found that there is a 21% increased risk of lymphoma in people with tattoos. Now that sounds alarming at first glance, but let's add some context. Lymphoma accounts for approximately 4% of all cancers in the United States. That's 4 in every 100 people you meet. That study was observational, not a randomized controlled trial. It didn't isolate which ink colors or specific heavy metals were involved, and the researchers themselves concluded that more research is needed to determine the causal relationship. But that post, it didn't mention any of that. No nuance, no details, just big, bold, emotional claim. And that's the problem. Because when we take incomplete information and we slap on a scary headline and we share it with tens of thousands of followers, we're not educating people. We're terrifying them. And in doing so, we're undermining the very principles that naturopathic medicine is built upon. Let's talk about those principles. Our medicine is based on the idea of docere, the doctor as teacher. We're meant to empower our patients to make informed choices, to see the body as an interconnected whole, and to use nature, yes, but also science. And here's where I take issue. In the age of Instagram and TikTok, I see more and more of my colleagues adopting this influencer mindset, where everything is a toxin, everything is a danger, and if you're not detoxing from it or avoiding it or buying the right supplement, you're doomed. Let's get real for a moment. We naturopaths use heavy metals in our own therapeutic protocols. Zinc, copper, chromium, iron, manganese, and silver, just to name a few. All of these are beneficial, but in the right dose. So if someone's going to call out heavy metals in tattoo ink as cancer-causing, we better be clear which metals, what dose, what exposure pathway. Because without that specificity, we're just fear-mongering. And fear-mongering, even in the name of natural medicine, is still manipulation. And frankly, it's not any different from the tactics that people grew so weary of during the pandemic. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, the dose makes the poison. You can die from too much water. You can get lightheaded from breathing too much oxygen. Context matters. Look, I know I'm going against the grain here. I've lost friends. Some colleagues have even distanced themselves. Matter of fact, the colleague that I had this very conversation with distanced themselves, blocked me on social media, as a matter of fact. And I've been accused of not being natural enough. But I'd rather be accused of that than being intellectually dishonest. We have a responsibility. If you wear the title doctor, whether you're an MD, an ND, a DO, a DC, or something else, then you have to be anchored in truth, not trends. And if you're a patient or a health-conscious person watching this, here's what I want you to take away. Yes, follow your health professionals, seek support, but don't just consume information. Question it. Ask yourself, where did this claim come from? What's the source? Is there any peer-reviewed evidence? Or am I acting out of fear or understanding? Because here's the hard truth. Even healthcare providers have biases, myself included. That's why critical thinking has to be part of the healing process for doctors and for patients. If I'm going to teach you to read supplement labels and food labels to know what you're putting in your body, then I should also be teaching you how to read a post, a study, or a meme, and not let it control your mind. Because not everything on the internet is true. We've heard that before, right? And not every influencer is qualified. And not every fear is valid. So please, don't let a viral post lead you to a self-diagnosis. Don't mistake a fad for a fact. And don't let an influencer rob you of your ability to think critically and to enjoy your life joyously. You deserve more than that. You deserve truth. You deserve care that's rooted in wisdom and science, not just some natural hype. So let's raise the bar for our profession, for our patients, for ourselves. If you found this message helpful, please share it. And if you're looking for naturopathic care that's grounded in both nature and evidence, you know where to find me. Until next time, I'm Dr. Brandon Drabek, naturopathic doctor. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay true to the facts.